Everyone present over here. As you can see, today my role model, I'm going to present to you today, is my role model, that is Stan Lee, the co-founder of Marvel Enterprises. Many of you might not even know about Marvel Enterprises, but it's quite famous. I mean, most of you would actually know this company by the number of movies it makes, which is very famous and followed by a lot of people. But mostly, a lot of people actually follow the comic books and the books which inspires them into a whole new world, which doesn't have any limitations actually. So he was born in December 28th, 1922. He grew up with a dream that becoming a comic book writer was not such thought of by a lot of people, because it's not there won't be a person who comes up and tells you that become a comic book writer, because it's not like an actual job. People don't actually think of becoming a comic book writer, but then the only reason that he did this was because he was inspired and motivated, and all of this is actually self-motivation. He was never supported by any of his family members or friends and such, but he even actually stated that he only wrote comic books to have three straight meals a day and he could pay for his rent. But then now he's one of the most successful people in the world, being the co-founder of Marvel Enterprises. So as you can see here, there are a lot of images where he has actually shown up in these movies. Most of you might not even notice them, but then he has been showing up in these movies, and as a matter of fact, he has stated that people come to watch the movies so that they can see my cameo, and along with it, the movies with it. So it's actually considered to be him who's supposed to be acting a much more greater thing than the movie itself. So Marvel does not only go towards having movies as such. It does have like a lot of other features and products too. They sell out comic books, games, shoes, clothing. I mean, a lot of people actually follow this. In case there are like a lot of Marvel fans and they actually enter into for instance, the very recent movie Avengers Infinity War, which has been released by around 2018. I mean, that was this year. A lot of people have been waiting for it for around 4 to 5 years, which they know have been upcoming, because it was the greatest movie that was ever being. I mean, it actually has a very high record and it was not even been done yet with, because it still has a second part left to it. But then that's not the fact. A lot of Marvel fans come wearing the Marvel clothes, saying Marvel t-shirts, Marvel shoes and all, actually supporting giving their support towards the company. So there are a few facts that you might not know about him, but his late wife, that's Joanne Lee, was his barber. And the Hulk was not supposed to be green, it was actually supposed to be grey, but an issue at the printers turned the Hulk green, and later on they actually thought that they could go on with it. Stanley is not even his name, and he has written training manuals with Dr. Seuss. So he's responsible for a lot of characters as the base characters in Marvel. That is Spider-Man, Hulk, Captain America, Thor, and these are one of the most basic characters in the universe. And a lot of you people might not be even interested in this, but then this actually made a huge change in people's life, giving them inspiration and motivation on how they could change their real life. I mean, all these people have changed their lives in a fictional world, but this is the real world that we live in, and we can actually change our lives by looking at these characters from a world that does not even exist but is beyond imagination. Thank you.